Just does.
One last question for you. Are you more disappointed in how Philadelphia sports is covered by the Inquirer or by WIP and the radio stations in Philadelphia, WPEN, WIP,
Right.
and the Inquirer? Are you more? Who are you more disappointed in?
Well, I work for both the Inquirer and WIP. It's not even close for me. It's the Inquirer. The Inquirer, and I'm leaving a few people out. Mike Sealski still calls him pretty straight, although he's really far more forgiving than I ever was. Marcus Hayes still holds people accountable. The rest of the crew, I'm even including Jeff McClain. He hasn't written a really critical thing in years now. The rest of them, they're journalists. They're not supposed to succumb to the pressure of a team, the Eagles, who are trying fully now to bully media organizations into covering the team with their narrative instead of what you said. The essence of journalism has not changed. It is at least attempting objectivity. And if you're only telling me the good stuff because you don't want to alienate Bob Lang and the people at the Eagles, well, then you're not doing your job. The WIP, I mean, there's a different synergy there. WIP is technically in a business partnership with the Eagles. They do the games, all right?
Yep.
I don't know if there's pressure coming from there. If there is, I hope they're not giving into it. I don't listen often enough to give you a full assessment of whether they're not holding.
Well, doesn't WIP pay $4 million a year to the Eagles to air those games?
Yeah, I thought it was even more than that. It was $7 million.
Okay, $7 million. Okay, $7 million.
It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money, and I guess they weren't giving the money unless they knew they were getting it back. So
absolutely,
he's a company. But to me, WIP, I can't give you a full gauge on because I'm not a big listener now. But I could tell you, the Inquirer, it's tragic to me. You understand?
Yeah.
When we covered those teams, this is the 1980s, right up to 19. We covered them the way you cover the White House, City Hall.
Yep.
We asked tough questions. We alienated people, but we did the real heavy lifting that fans they need it. Whether the fans think it or not, you want the answer to a question of fans asking, you better get a journalist to do it. And they're not doing it. They're just not doing it, Dan. And that to me, it's tragic. It's awful.
It is because you're getting not really the story any longer. That's why I try telling people those press conferences that the Eagles do with the players and the coaches, there's not one bit of truth to it.
No,
I go, they're not. And Angelo, for you, when you got the coach on, I don't know if you did it Tuesday or Thursday, whenever, or maybe a Monday, you got Sirianni on, they must have been painful for you because you knew. Did they ever come to you and ask you to tell and ask different questions? Did they get pissed off at your questions?
No. That we actually had an agreement that I had no reluctance to show them the questions before I did the interview.
Huh.
I had no. Now you'd say, well, that's not journalism. No, it isn't. It's radio. Radio. We were not doing journalism, but I'm not trying to trap someone. But here's the thing. So they would know what the questions were. They had a pretty good concept for what the questions were by the time we did it. I had the latitude to add stuff, to go in different directions based on the answers and stuff like that. But here's the thing you need to know. They were at no point under any conditions were they committed to provide any actual information to the listeners. Their job, as defined by Bob Lang and the people running the PR department over there, was to avoid anything that involved anything. So don't give you injury reports, don't give you timelines for recoveries, don't blame anybody if something bad happens, don't say anything. That's why something like what you saw with Vrabel, where he actually took a shot at the people giving him his players, the front office, you will never see on the Eagles because they're all prepped ahead of time. All those news conferences, before these guys come out, they're prepped. Do you understand? They go through everything. Here's what are we going to say about this? Oh, no. Don't even say that. You don't even have to say that. Don't say anything. And that's why all you're hearing is a lot of noise, signifying nothing. You're not getting anything out of any of those news conferences. The only guy who's not pre-programmed is Hurts. And Hurts by nature is not going to tell much to you.
Man, Angelo. So before those guys tape that, they talk to the guys in the pit and say, we're going down this lane. We're going down this lane.
They know. There's five talking points. And they'll the safe ones, and they'll just make sure they keep hitting the same point rather than give the information. This is why, you understand when I'm telling you before that Doug Pederson was so different than the other guys. Doug Pederson didn't know any of that. You understand? Doug Pederson came on. You asked him a question. Why did you punt in overtime when you still had a chance to win the game? And then there'd be like a pause. Like he had never considered that someone would ask him that question, because no one did at the post-game news conference. And they go, yeah, I should have tried on fourth down. I shouldn't have punted. He'd say that. And you go, oh my God, we have information here. Wow. We're actually getting something.
Honesty
for our listeners. Honesty, not fear. Going back to the original point about not using starters. Cowardice now rules the National Football League. Cowardice. They're afraid to say anything. They're afraid to play their starters. They're afraid to do anything. They just want everybody to sit there and smile.
Angelo, were you insulted that Nick Sirianni didn't do your last show on a Monday when he didn't come on your show?
No, not really. It revealed something to me that, they lost. He had trashed me publicly before that, and he had a chance there to go, well, in this case, you were right. They knew that their defensive coordinator, we were fighting over Jonathan Gannon. They knew that he was leaving anyway. He could have deferred on that. But then I realized, no, I don't feel bad he didn't come on, because in the 3 years that I interviewed him, he never said a damn thing that was worth anything, right? It became 10 minutes of wasted airtime when he came on, because he wasn't going to tell you a damn thing. And I'll tell you why. Because beneath it all, he doesn't give a damn about the fans. He doesn't give a damn about the fans. That's why he was lecturing them last year when they were booing. He didn't want them booing. You don't boo in Philly. It's all we do. What the hell's wrong with you? All we do.
Angelo, make sure you guys check out AngeloCataldi.com. I'm sure we took him overtime here too, boy. He needed a little extra days to get ready here for what he saw this past weekend when he came to Baltimore. But
hold on a minute, Danny. I gotta plug something.